Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm giving you my views and predictions on Game Week 38, the final game week of the Premier League. So yeah, let's get started, but before we get started I'm just going to say something now. Don't get mad at me, but the second episode of the podcast is not going to come out this weekend. I know, I've said it won't come out this weekend, it won't come out next weekend, but it will probably come out the weekend after, because the podcast is going to be about the Europa League, Europa Conference League and the Champions League and that sort of stuff. So yeah, I thought I'd do it after the Champions League and Conference League finals, so it makes more sense and I'm not just guessing what's going to happen halfway through it. So yeah, sorry about that. The podcast will be out in about 2 weeks' time. So let's get started. So the first game of the final game week is Bournemouth versus Leicester. I'm not going to get much into the sort of games, I'm just going to get more into the predictions. I mean, I think it's going to be an easy game for Bournemouth. Leicester, they're going to be without Jamie Vardy, I'm pretty sure, this game, I think. Jamie Vardy played his last game against Ipswich, I'm pretty sure it was, the other day. So, I think it's going to be an easy win for Bournemouth. I think it'll be 3-1 Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth will win this game with ease. But I think Justin Kluivert will score twice. And I think that Marcus Tavernier will score as well for Bournemouth. And I think for Leicester, El Khanous will be the scorer for Leicester. And I think that the two players to watch in that game will be Justin Kluivert of Bournemouth and El Khanous of Leicester. So yeah, let's get started with the second game, Fulham versus Man City. I mean, Man City, after the loss of the FA Cup, I don't think they're going to be much confident. I reckon if they won the FA Cup, I reckon they would have walked into this game with a 5 or 6-0 win. I reckon that's what would have happened. But I don't think that's going to happen. But I still think Man City will win. But I just don't think that will happen. I think it's going to be Fulham 0, Man City 3. I think that Haaland will score twice. And I think that Omar Mamouche will get a goal as well. And I think that Smith Rowe for Fulham and Erling Haaland for Man City will be the two players to watch for that game. So yeah, the next game is Ipswich Town versus West Ham United. I mean, that should be an exciting game. I mean, Ipswich Town, they've been alright this season. I mean, I know they're getting relegated, but they've still been better than I thought they would. And West Ham, they've been alright. I mean, they haven't been the best, but they've been okay, I guess, in the last few games. I think it's going to be a West Ham win. I think it's going to be Ipswich 0, West Ham 2. I think that Bowen will score twice for West Ham, and I think that Delap and Bowen will be the two players to watch in that game. Delap for Ipswich and Bowen for West Ham. So yeah, the next game is Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, after the FA Cup win, I still can't believe Crystal Palace won the FA Cup, but I mean, Man City, they haven't been great this season. But enough about Man City, because I'm going to turn this camera around because it doesn't look like I'm looking at it. Oh, that's a little bit. Right. Actually, I'll just turn it back this way. Right, there we go. As I was saying, the FA Cup final, Crystal Palace won 1-0 after that Eze goal and Marmouche missed a penalty. And Dean Henderson definitely should have been sent off, but enough about that FA Cup final, because it's Liverpool versus Crystal Palace. The title winners, Liverpool versus the FA Cup winners, Palace. I reckon this is going to be a tough game for Liverpool. I really think it's going to be a tough one. I think it's going to be a win for Liverpool, but barely. I think it's going to be Liverpool 3, Crystal Palace 2. I think it's going to be a very good game. I think that Salah will score twice and Cody Gakpo will score the third goal. And I think that Eberici Eze will score 2 for Palace. And I think that Salah and Eze will be the two players to watch that game. So, the next game, we're halfway there. Man United versus Aston Villa. What a game to be halfway there. What a game, by the way. Man United lost the not the FA Cup. They lost the Europa League. Come on, you Spurs. Enough about Spurs, because that's the ninth game that's coming on later. Come on, you Spurs. Right. Man United, they deserve to lose that game. They're pretty trash. Aston Villa, they've been alright this season. Champions League, top 8. Then they obviously got knocked out to PSG. But yeah, so I think it's going to be an easy win for Man United, but not by a lot. I think it's going to be Man United 2, Aston Villa 1. I think that Bruno Fernandes will score twice for Man United, and I think that Aston Villa's goal scorer will be Ollie Watkins, and I think that Bruno Fernandes and Ollie Watkins will be the 2 goal scorers and the 2 players to watch in that game. So the 6th game is Newcastle versus Everton. That should be an exciting game. I mean, 2 feisty teams that want to win this game. 2 feisty teams that always play good football when they play against each other, or any other club really. I think it's going to be an easy win for Newcastle, though, however, because Newcastle, they've been okay the last few games. I think it's been Newcastle 2, Everton 0. I think that Harvey Barnes and Gordon will score for Newcastle, and I think that the 2 players to watch will be Gordon for Newcastle and Jordan Pickford for Everton. I reckon they'll try and keep him in it. I reckon it'll be 5-6-0 if Jordan Pickford wasn't in there. So, the 7th game is Nottingham Forest versus Chelsea. That should be a good game. I'm predicting a 2-2 draw in that game. I'm going to get straight to it. I'm predicting a 2-2 draw. I think that Chris Wood will score twice. And I'm thinking that Palmer will score twice as well. And I think that Wood and Palmer will be the 2 players to watch that game. So yeah, keep an eye on that game. I know I'll be watching a bit of that game. Right. Southampton versus Arsenal is the next game. Arsenal. Well, they haven't won any trophies this season, so right. I think Arsenal fans, don't get me wrong, Arsenal have been great this season. Don't get me wrong, beating Real Madrid. Wow, you don't get a trophy for it though, do you? So it's not really ideal. So I think that Southampton 20th place versus Arsenal 2nd place. Are they 2nd place? I don't know if Arsenal's 2nd place. I haven't looked at the table recently. The only table I'm looking at is the Family Fantasy League table. So, I think it'll be an easy win for Arsenal, but I think that Southampton will score. I do think they will score. I think it'll be Southampton 1, Arsenal 3. I think that Tyler Dibbling will score Southampton's only goal, and I think that Saka will score twice, and Martinelli will get a goal for Arsenal. Jesus Christ, I forgot what team I was talking about for a second. And then Tyler Dibbling and Bukayo Saka will be the 2 players to watch that game. So, the 9th game is Tottenham versus Brighton. Come on, you Spurs. Europa League win. It was ever in doubt, really. We were going to win the Europa League. Man United have been trash all season. They were going to win the Europa League, Tottenham. I mean, Tottenham have been brilliant. My team, Tottenham, they've been fantastic. Couldn't be more proud. And Ange Postecoglou's cold quote saying, Season 3 is better than Season 2. I can't wait to see what happens next season. When I do the table prediction, which will come out in August, some point in August, I'll do the table, actually probably July or early August, I'll do like a table prediction like I did last year. And I reckon Tottenham come top 5. That's my early prediction. But I think that Tottenham will win this game, even though they are probably hungover from the Europa League final. But I think that Tottenham will scrape away a win. I think it'll be 2-1 Spurs. I think that Solanke will score twice for Tottenham. I think that Danny Welbeck will score a goal for Brighton. And I think that Solanke and Danny Welbeck will be the 2 players to watch in that game. Yeah, so the final game, I'm not going to keep you too long. The final game is Wolves versus Brentford. That should be an exciting game. Probably another game I watch as well. Will be an exciting game. 2 teams that have been mid. They've been mid all season. I mean, Brentford, I think they're going to walk away with the win. I think it's going to be Wolves 2, Brentford 0. No, Wolves 0, Brentford 2. Jesus Christ. Wolves 0, Brentford 2. I think that Wissa will score twice for Brentford, and I think that Matheus Cunha and Wissa will be the 2 players to watch in that game. So yeah, thank you for watching, but before I go, sorry there's going to be no podcast this month. There'll probably be one some point next month about the Champions League and that. Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, end of the season, Gameweek 38, a bit in there. We might even get special guests on there. Might even try and get my brother to be on the podcast as well. That would be nice. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, adios.